Hello everyone, my name is Ark and welcome back to another SH Figuarts review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the one and only Hugh Jackman as Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie of the year for 2024 for a lot of people. Not me though. I don't remember what my 2024 movie was, but this guy is finally here. I know I mentioned it in my pre-orders sort of video that he was going to come out over in February, so next month, but I was able to get my hands on him for a reasonable price thanks to Nin Game, and also another figure that you guys will see later down this week. So without further ado, let's take this guy out and see how he looks. Alright, so here we have Wolverine in all of his yellow brightness glory. Holy hell, is he bright. So this guy stands at a whopping 6 inches, 6¼ inches to the top of his little mask thing. 6 inches to the top of his head, though. So comparing him to Deadpool, here he is. So in terms of the, oh wait, I am messing everything up. In terms of height, Deadpool is a little bit taller, which makes sense. He is taller than Hugh Jackman from the looks of it. And his proportions are also a little bit different. So this Wolverine has very weird proportions just right off the bat, as you can notice. Now, I don't know how long Hugh Jackman's arms are, so they probably took a look at that and were like, okay, we gotta make them long. But look at the arms. They're extremely long. Like, they're actually longer than they need to be. Normally, your arms are not super long to where they actually go all the way nearly down your thigh, at least from, yeah. So I had to double check myself. Some people have abnormally long arms, which is fine, but at the same time, I feel like his shoulders are a little bit lower than they need to be as well. So that's another thing. But just looking at him, he looks really nice. He has that same texture that Deadpool has, which is amazing. I really like it. The details on his suit are very well done. Even just kind of looking up at him, like you can see that cowl looks amazing. The intricate detail done for it is beautiful. Now, there are complaints about this figure, and I think the biggest complaint is that the head is not big enough. And I sort of agree to an extent, because just putting the heads side by side, look how much longer Deadpool's head is compared to Wolverine's. Like, it's actually insane how much longer the head for Deadpool is. So just making the head a little bit bigger would have definitely made this figure a lot better already. But besides that, he actually looks really good. He even has like the X logo, the X-Men logo in the front. The blue looks amazing. They chose a really nice blue to actually complement the figure. No painted elbows whatsoever, of course, because that's how Tamashi does it. But besides that, let's move on to the articulation section. This guy is pretty much your basic male body, so you're going to have some pretty decent range, especially with the 3.0 body mold that we're accustomed with in the Dragon Ball franchise at this point. To an extent. His head, he can look it down about this far, which is a little bit less than I anticipated for sure. Looking up about that far, which is actually pretty decent. He can look side to side and rock his head back and forth. He does have a wonderful double jointed peg, double ball peg on there, which is great. His arms, you'd think that the shoulder pads might impede some movement and just kind of make it look go all the way there, but no. It has sort of like the same mechanism as the Gogeta figure and some of the Saiyan armor figures as well, so it can actually move enough for you to get much higher than a T-pose, which is actually really good. Like, you can even detach the shoulder pads if you wanted to get a little bit of better range, and then just attach them back afterwards. So, and yes, don't worry if you mess them up. It does have the L and R on the inside of the shoulders, but you shouldn't really have much of an issue with that. So he looks really good already and has some decent articulation on the upper body. His neck is a little bit stuck. I don't know if it's just mine, but if you work it, he can definitely look lower than he used to at the beginning of this video, I guess. So bicep swivel, of course, very weird on how they did this bicep swivel. Like, they have that giant cutout sleeves to that. I don't think it's the best way of doing it, because if you use it, it does break the figure a lot, especially with the painting and the paint job and whatnot. He has such a weird elbow. So let's look at it. Look at the arm real quick. So we see the nice natural arm going here, and he does have a bigger bicep than a forearm, which makes sense. Everyone does to if you work out or anything like that. But his elbow is pretty much just kind of like a single jointed elbow, where he has this weird inside section on the bicep, and you can only move a certain amount, which is weird. It's a very weird, odd choice that they did for this one. And the yellow is not even the correct yellow, so they could have definitely just painted it. So very odd choice for the elbows on this figure. I don't know if it was the best decision, but it's the decision they made. And of course, a wrist hinge. His hands also kind of like drop lower than they need to be. You can see there's a bigger gap than usual, like even just comparing it to Deadpool. Like, Deadpool's hands are not really that much, actually no, they are, never mind, I'm just talking out my ass at this point. For the torso, he has a better torso than Deadpool to also an extent, so he can actually hunch over a little bit and go backwards a lot as well. So very good motion in the torso, and you can do all of this if you wanted to. Just be careful with some paint scrapes and all that kind of stuff. Legs, he has better legs than Deadpool. Again, to an extent. Some sort of benefits of the 3.0 model is that you can get pretty much full-on splits, but the cutout of the legs kind of impedes that a little bit. But now he can kick forward about 90 degrees, which sucks because this figure should be able to kick even higher. Again, it's just the way that they did the cuts for the legs kind of impedes that. And he can't kick backwards because he has a sculpted ass. That is the adamantium ass for you right there. He has a thigh swivel, a double jointed knee, which actually works pretty well. And it doesn't look that bad, realistically. Because the plastic does not have the texture, but the elbow does. Don't know why the knee doesn't. So again, weird choices in terms of just aesthetic alone. And a foot hinge that actually works better than Deadpool as well. So this figure, in terms of like range of articulation, I think he works a little bit better than Deadpool. He can kick backwards, and he has a little bit of a better torso, and but he also sort of like doesn't have much range on the elbows, which is fine. I don't think it's much of an issue. So let's just move on to the accessories, because this guy, I don't think he has the most accessories, but it's fine actually. But let's just look at them. Okay, so Wolverine definitely lacks a lot of accessories as compared to Deadpool, but Deadpool is pretty much a mercenary that has a lot of weapons and just accessories in general. He has a lot more. Oh, apologies. Deadpool has a lot more of like facial expressions with the eyes. Hugh Jackman or Wolverine here only has an angry expression with the cowl. Unfortunately, it seems that Tamashii did not get the license to use the likeness of Hugh Jackman, so we don't have an unmasked cowl with a hood for said cowl. But we have a set of fists, which is great. Always love when they give us fists. A set of open hands as well, sort of like grasping someone or grabbing someone. Now, we do have pretty much the same set of hands, but with the claws out as well. I will warn you, these claws are actually very sharp. I almost punctured my finger with them just trying to grab them. So these look really nice. I honestly think they look really good. Probably not as long. Actually, no, they actually are a pretty good length to the proportions of the figure, which you will see right about now. Which leads me into my final thoughts. I think this figure is actually pretty good. I think he is on par with Deadpool, but at the same time, he does kind of lack a couple of accessories. Again, I don't know what else they could have done with him in general. They definitely could have thrown in some extra stuff if you wanted to. They could have thrown in some additional Deadpool stuff, maybe, just to actually have the pair, because I actually don't think we're going to get any of the other characters as SH Figuarts. Maybe if these guys sell well enough, hopefully I would like a Gambit from Justin Tatum. Channing Tatum, sorry, not Justin, what the fuck. But I would like a Gambit and even just a Blade and whatnot. An Electra would be great as well. But overall, I'm gonna give this guy a 7 out of 10. He is good. His price is horrible. He's $85 US MSRP. So that definitely does suck. He does lack accessories. He should be at most a $60 figure, which is what I paid for, which I'm very happy with. I think a $60 price point for this figure is more than enough. $84, $85 is definitely pushing it, especially with Deadpool being $90. That's like $200 right there for both figures, which is insane. But yeah, that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I would like to know. But besides that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.